Hello everyone, this is Linda Taylor again. Welcome back to my channel where I try to help aspiring writers and folks who are wanting to get published do some of the things that are kind of standard in the publishing industry when it comes to delivering manuscripts. And so today I want to talk to you about working with cleaning up your manuscripts to remove the double spaces between your sentences and potentially the tabs that you've inserted into your manuscript to start paragraphs. If you're wondering about some of the standards in the industry for delivering manuscripts, I do have a video called Building a Manuscript Template. Take a look at that because that will help you understand some of the key things that publishers are expecting when a manuscript comes into their inbox. There are certain key elements, the font sizes, the spacing, the margins. Those pieces are vital to the formatting of your manuscript. And now I want to include here a couple of other pieces that are important. So here, double spacing between sentences, not needed anymore. If you are someone like me who learned to type on a typewriter, you learned that you would always double space after a period or a closing piece of punctuation. So as here, it looks like this. You did that because typewriters use monotype sizes, meaning that all of the letters take up the same amount of space widthwise across a sentence. And so an M would take up as much space as an I. But we don't want that. We want things to look a little bit better. And so in computers and in most fonts, you'll see that letters are proportionally spaced. So an M is wider than this U. You see that? So the proportional spacing means that just putting a single space between sentences still makes a page readable. And so that's why this changed. And woe to all of us who did learn to double space between sentences. But I have good news for you. You don't need to retrain yourself. You go ahead and type however you want to type because I'm going to show you a quick fix to save you all kinds of hassle and to fix this. And you don't have to go through and fix it individually. This is a very easy, quick fix. Okay, what I want to show you in this little button here, this is the home ribbon, the paragraph tab. You see this little button here? This is called the Show Hide button. And what it does is it shows us the things that are embedded here in the manuscript. And so you can see this hard tab from creating an indent. And then you can see the double spaces here between the sentences. Okay. Well, we want to remove those. We want to remove these double spaces. It's going to be a very quick fix. We're going to go over here to the Editing tab. Now, if you're on a slightly older version of Microsoft Word, it may be a tab way over here to the right that says Find, Replace, Select, right? And what we're going for is the Replace tab. Okay, so it's here just in a slightly different spot in my newer version of Microsoft Word. All right, so I'm going to pick up the Replace tab. Sometimes it may look like this if it's closed up, all right? You can move this around your screen if you need to. What I want to do is I want to replace, I had something there earlier. Let me move that out of there, okay? I want to replace two spaces with one space, all right? It's pretty straightforward. You can't really see anything there, but I've said two spaces with one space. All right, so what I want to do is I want to replace all. And you can see I saved myself 1,312 keystrokes trying to go through sentence by sentence and delete that one extra space. And then you might, just for good measure, do it just in case down to 0. In some cases, maybe you put in 3 spaces and you need to get it all the way down to 1, and it will take a couple clicks in order to do so. I use the same technique when I'm working with manuscripts that I'm editing, because sometimes they'll show up with straight quotes instead of curly quotes. here, you see a curly apostrophe, a curly quote. Of course, you know what that looks like here. Once in a while, a manuscript will come through that's got these that look straight. And again, that's not industry standard. We need to clean those up. And the fastest way to do that is to do our trusty find replace again. Find and replace with quotes. And what it'll do, it'll go through the menu and it will change all of them to the default of the curly quotes. And it knows somehow, because Word is smart, it knows which way to turn those quotes. And those will be correct. And then I do the same thing with apostrophes. I make sure that all my apostrophes are curly by doing the same thing. Okay, so that gets us through the double spacing. Okay, the next piece I want to look at quickly is the tabs. You see these embedded tabs here. Again, if you're someone who's been typing on a typewriter, you know that you do a return and then you do an indent. And even on computers, unless it's defaulting to that somehow, we have to put in this tab to get our paragraphs to get indented. Okay. The problem is that most of the time, if we're going to be building our template the way we want it to, we want to be able to just have these tabs automatically come up. Now, in my other video about building a template, I show you how to do that. But I'm going to briefly just talk this through here. What we've got is a normal font. And we want normal as embedded to automatically indent. And again, on the other video, I show you how to build your normal tab to get it to do that. But if you were to do all of this, then suddenly you would have double indents because the normal here is built to automatically indent. What's nice about using the template that already has that is that saves you another keystroke. As you're typing and you press the return, the next paragraph automatically indents and you don't have to put in this tab. So that will be a huge savings to you. But if we're having to clean this up, if we need to go through and now we've gone through and made this change so that these are automatically indented, now we've got double indents and we don't want that either. So we need to figure out how to do this to get rid of these tabs. All right, so I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to replace. Let me get rid of the things I was just doing. And I'm going to click the More button. And then I'm going to go to Special. You can see that this then allows me to look for different characters because you can't like highlight this and plug it in up here. It won't read it. So instead I'm saying, okay, whoops, put it in the wrong spot. I want to put in the tab character. That's what I'm looking for. So it's got its little hidden code there that makes a tab. And then I want to replace it with nothing. So I put nothing in the replace column. And so then we can go ahead. Now you can go replace, replace, replace. If you do the single button, it'll just go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And you might want to do that if you know that somewhere in your manuscript you've embedded a bunch of tabs for a chart you made potentially or something that you've done. If you just replace all, it will remove all of those as well, and that might mess you up. But in my case, I know that it's just going to be at the fronts of paragraphs. And so I can say a replace all. Now it's only do a few because I had cleaned some of them up already. But you can see there's 96 replacements here. And you can see what happened. It removed the tab character, and so with the extra tab, and it left me an indented paragraph, which is what the industry standard asks for. So being able to turn in a manuscript that has the indented paragraphs but not indented with tabs and single spacing between your sentences is once again going to put you in a good position to turn in a manuscript that's clean, that's up to industry standards, and will not look poorly for you when an acquisitions editor opens your manuscript and looks at it. They're very happy when they see that you know how to deliver a manuscript the way they want it. Thanks for watching. Other videos on this channel will help you with other things. Take a look. Have a great day.